comes to comedy, here's a winner. Say hello once again to Frank Skinner, ladies and gentlemen. Funny guy, Frank Skinner! Down there like a scalded cat, you were.
I was.
Listen, a lot's been going on in your life since you were here just a year ago. What's been happening?
Well, that's correct.
Yeah, I mean...
That's correct. See, I'm frightened to say yes or no now in case you dong me.
I know there's a lot of humour. Last time you were with us, you were talking about your childhood. And a lot of comedians... It's a great source, isn't it, for gags and embroidery?
Yeah, you're right. A lot of people talk about it, but they don't talk about my childhood, but they talk about their own.
Why don't they talk about your childhood?
Because they weren't there, you see. That's the trouble.
Tell us about your childhood.
Well, the thing that sticks in my mind, strangely enough, is sneezing.
Sneezing?
My dad used to do these sneezes that you never hear anymore, that come with a 2-minute warning. You know these sneezes when you go... And it's very, very handy, because it gives you a chance to do stuff like put away your stamp collection, you know, get the food into Tupperware containers, you know, put Macintoshes on the smaller children. Because when he sneezed, he didn't used to put his hand in. It was you just let fly, you know. The spray was, it was incredible, right? It used to be like the opening credits to a YE5-0, you know. We often surfed to school on one of our dads. Yes, very often. But it's true. But it wasn't until I went into the big wide world that, for the first time, I discovered middle-class people. The main difference, I think, between the working class and the middle class isn't education and money and all that. It's sneezing.
Sneezing?
Right? Because I was talking, I met my first ever middle-class person, and he looked at me and he was saying, yes, Frank, actually, oh dear, I have a bit of it. And I thought, that man's just eating a chaffinch. Really worried me, I'm saying. Do you remember Scooby-Doo?
The little...
The cartoon one, that was...
Was it kangaroo, was it?
No,
Scooby-Doo was the
close. Close, yeah. he looked like a kangaroo from a distance, I thought. Scooby-Doo was the one that used to go... Right? That's how he went. It wasn't...
I'd like to hear another one of them.
It used to go... Right?
Is that good?
That'll wipe up. And it wasn't until 3 weeks ago that I found out that Roy Hattersley did the voice of Scooby-Doo. I should have guessed. Now, you're talking about Skippy. Are you talking about Skippy, I think?
No, not really.
Oh, I loved Skippy. Skippy was the kangaroo. That was brilliant.
Sorry.
That was a brilliant show. Did you watch Skippy? Yeah. Oh, fantastic. Skippy, if you remember, was owned by a little fat...
They're very keen, aren't they?
I think so.
I
think Skippy's in tonight by the sound of it. Skippy was a little kangaroo, and he was owned by this little fat Australian kid with bad skin, who I think grew up to become Clive James. In fact. Or was that Skippy? Anyway. It would always start that Skippy would come bounding in, I don't know if you remember this, and Skippy would... He was like this. Because there was no decaffeinated coffee in those days. And he'd look up at Sonny like this, and Skippy, he would always go... And Sonny would look down at him and say, "What's that, Skip?" Helicopter crash. 47 miles northwest of Bongaloo, and you know, even as a small child, I used to think, rubbish, right? I mean, for a start-up, I don't think a kangaroo could care less if there was a helicopter crash. I mean, what does their life consist of? Eating and jumping, that's it, isn't it? Not a bad life when you put it like that. Now, I reckon that Skippy was saying sort of kangaroo-y type things, really. Stuff like, could I have some leaves, please? So he'd come in and say, could I have some leaves, please, Sonny? And Sonny would say, "What's that, Skip?" I said, "Could I have some leaves, please?" Helicopter crash? Where? Hey, I must say, I did that. I did this routine in a pub. It's a very rough pub. And I started talking about Skippy, and there's a big bloke at the back, really ugly look. He got a face like a bulldog licking mustard off a nettle. Clean that up a bit. And he looked up.
I know the original.
Yes, but I think they'd put the right word back in. And I said this thing, Skippy, and he said, "Yeah, mate, it was Flipper." And I said, no, Flipper was a dolphin, right? It was Skippy the kangaroo. He said, "Look, mate, it was Flipper." So I got scared and I had to do the whole routine, right, with Flipper instead of Skippy. This is true, so I had Sonny come out and go, "Ooh, what's that strange wheezing, slithering noise?" "Oh, it's you, Flip," right? And I had to pick up the dolphin and start going like, as you do. I don't know if you ever picked up a dolphin.
No, not a lot.
You don't get to the right parties,
No,
but I'll get to that. There's one secret to picking up a dolphin, and that's if they struggle, you go like that, and they're very quiet. Obviously.
I'll remember that.
Yeah.
Next time I've got a handful of dolphins.
Well, they've got to be facing that way, obviously. Yeah, right. So, well, we don't want to get the RSPCA, God forbid. So I had to do it with. If you go, I'm on my own. You know that. I've started them off now. So I had to stand there like this, and I said, "What's that, Flip?" And I went. Submarine crash? Of course, by the time I got to the Leeds joke, it was dead. So that was that, yeah.
Well, you're off on tour again now.
I'm on tour, and I've taken a leaf out of your book, Des. I'm going to do a song on stage. This could be the beginning, right, I think. And because I like pop music, I used to be... I tell you, when I grew up, right, in the 70s, I really fancied, the blonde one in ABBA, right? Yeah, I don't remember his name, but he was nice. No, I liked him.
Skinner, ladies and gentlemen.